Hey everybody, Jim Delo out at the Lake County Government Center, sitting here talking about the Lake County option income tax. Obviously, that is the topic of a lot of you guys here in the morning have wanted to talk about, and I came out to the meeting today. It's a work-study meeting, and Ted Bilski. Ted, now you are a Lake County council person from what district?
6th District of Lake County.
And that is Hobart, and what else?
It covers Hobart, Lake Station, New Chicago, the southern end of Maryville, and the northern end of Crown Point.
Okay, so now you're is it the president or chairman of the council?
President of the council.
President of the council. So Ted's running these meetings, and some of these may tend to have some contentiousness going forward, and that is because we're looking at putting as much as a 1.5% income tax on a lot of people around the county. Ted, where do you stand on this tax?
At this point in time, I am going to support the 1.5% income tax. 1% of that will be distributed by property tax levy, and so you will see a reduction of your county portion of property tax with the 1%. The 0.25% that will be creating a public safety tax, and the other 0.25, which will be in development, will be distributed throughout the taxing units of Lake County, and it will help them with their infrastructure needs.
Now, there's been some cuts over the years. 350 jobs, I think, is the key number that people are throwing around. The question that many Lake County residents are going to want to know is, have we cut enough to tax ourselves?
You cannot tax yourself out of this situation. No, we have to continue on reductions. We have to continue on consolidation. So this gets us to a starting point to maintain government. It does not solve any problems at all.
You know, there's talk about not only will we be having an income tax coming our way for the average homeowner, worker, that kind of thing, but it would also mean that many municipalities would be able to raise their levy. Some are seeing that as a double whammy right now. What do you say to those folks?
Some, but not all. You have to support AV growth in order to increase your levy, and the cap at 3%. So you never see more in a community that would be have AV to increase would be capped at 3%, but they have to have that growth, and not all communities do.
So coming forward here, we're looking at. I mean, what do you see? You think this is going to fly?
I don't have a crystal ball. I think each council member has to talk to their community leadership. They need to find out where they are, what help they need. Within my district, I've spoke with all of my folks. We are in dire need of public safety money. Our police and fire. My Hobart Township Trustee's office is struggling to pay for fire protection as we speak. So we have cut in my district down, and we are needing to rebuild our infrastructure. Our streets and roads are falling apart, and we need to maintain our AV value as well, and we need to do that by repairing our infrastructure.
Do you think the state of Indiana has treated Lake County fairly through all this? The downstate Republicans, I know that I'm
not gonna. You know what? I'm not going to put a down where we treat it fairly downstate, and I'm not going to put a party label on saying by Democrats or Republicans. Where we treat it fairly, I got a little annoyed when I would hear words that, well, Lake County, you have tools in your toolbox. Well, those tools were broken. Those tools were not what we needed. You developed special legislation. You froze our levy. And the hardest thing that was to do is to not pass a previous income tax. We could not agree on a distribution formula. We didn't need it. Taxpayers in Lake County have saved over $72 million by us operating in reduction of a frozen levy. So I'm not going to put a political, say it's Republican or Democrat. I'm going to say that there was a consensus out there downstate by state legislators that we were not doing the right things, that we were not downsizing government. And now I think that the attitude is changing a little bit out there. I think they see that we are what we have done. We're a county of almost 500,000 people operating on a $110 million budget. There's no one in this state is doing what we're doing. There's no one that's made the cuts that we've made. There's no one living under the restraints that we're living under. So I think the attitude now is changing on both. We have Democrat elected officials that are down there saying, no, you know what, at the county level, things are turning around, and it's not us against them, as well as we've been received very well by Republicans down there. So I think we're doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing. Do you think that message, not so much downstate, we talked about that, do you think that message is getting out around Lake County?
I think it is, and I think unfortunately, the county, a lot of folks really take into consideration their local municipalities, and I don't have any direction over that. Your county portion of property tax, Jim, is probably equates to about $9 a year on an average across the board. Out of my my percentage I get, probably 90% of it is eaten up by criminal justice. Out of that 90, 80% of that is court mandated cost. So, I mean, if I was to eliminate the A building you're sitting in right now and just put all the revenue to criminal justice, like I said, you'd see only about a $9 reduction in your property tax bill.
Do you think people are starting to understand the kinds of concepts that you're talking about?
You know what? I would hope so, and I hope they realize that this is a shift created by legislators in the state of Indiana that want to get away from the property tax. They want to create a different type of a multi-level type of tax. They want to divert most of this to an income tax. So